What if I told you that improving just 1% every single day would mean that, by the end of a year, you wouldn't just be slightly better, you would be 37 times better? It may sound impossible, but this is the power of small habits, which is the central idea behind James Clear's best-selling book, Atomic Habits. Why habits shape everything. Our lives are shaped by our habits. What you repeatedly do, whether it's exercising, reading a few pages, or scrolling through your phone, ultimately defines who you are. Success is not achieved overnight. It's built through tiny actions repeated consistently. James Clear argues that if you master your habits, you can master your future. The best part? You don't need overwhelming motivation or drastic life changes. You simply need small, consistent improvements. The 1% rule: tiny gains, massive growth. Many people believe that success requires big, dramatic changes. However, science indicates otherwise. If you improve by just 1% daily, the results compound like interest in a bank account. By the end of the year, those minor gains can lead to significant change. For example, reading 10 pages a day may not seem like much, but over a year, that totals 3,650 pages, around 15 books. Similarly, doing 20 push-ups a day may not feel monumental, but after a year, you will have completed over 7,000 push-ups. These small actions accumulate over time. This principle also works negatively. If you become 1% worse each day, by the year's end, your progress could nearly reach zero. The lesson? Concentrate on small daily wins because habits compound just like money. Forget goals. Focus on systems. Most people fail because they become overly fixated on goals. For example, I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to make $100,000. I want to run a marathon. While goals are useful for providing direction, they don't guarantee results. What truly matters is your system, the daily habits and processes that lead to success. Losing 20 pounds isn't the goal. The goal is to eat better each day. Writing a book isn't the goal. The goal is to write 300 words every morning. James Clear puts it perfectly. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Identity-based habits. Become who you want to be. Here's a transformative concept. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, concentrate on who you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, tell yourself, I am a runner. Instead of saying, I want to quit smoking, tell yourself, I am not a smoker. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you aspire to be. One workout doesn't make you fit, but it's a vote for becoming an athlete. Reading one page doesn't make you a reader, but it's a vote for being one. Over time, those votes accumulate and your identity shifts. True behavior change is identity change. The 4 laws of behavior change. James Clear simplifies habit formation with a straightforward framework known as the 4 laws of behavior change. This serves as a guide for establishing good habits and breaking bad ones. Law 2: make it attractive. We are more likely to stick to habits that feel rewarding. Pair your new habit with something enjoyable. For instance, only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising, or treat yourself to your morning coffee as a reward for completing your journaling. When habits are appealing, your brain craves them. Law 3: make it easy. The simpler a habit is, the more likely you are to follow through. Reduce friction. If you want to work out, choose a gym close to your home. If you want to eat healthier, prepare meals in advance. Focus on starting small. Don't aim for 50 push-ups on day 1. Start with 2 and build momentum. Remember, habits are about consistency, not intensity. Law 4: make it satisfying. We tend to repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. Celebrate small wins and track your habits on a calendar. Checking off each day you succeed creates a sense of progress that motivates you to keep going. Together, these 4 laws form a system that helps good habits stick while making bad habits fade away. The power of environment, shape. Don't rely on willpower. Here is a harsh truth. You don't need more willpower. You need a better environment. If you're trying to eat clean but your kitchen is stocked with cookies, you're likely to indulge. However, if your fridge is filled with fruits and vegetables, you are much more likely to stick to your plan. Your environment should make the right choice the easy choice. If you want to practice guitar, keep it in the center of the room instead of hiding it in a closet. To drink more water, keep a bottle on your desk. Small changes in your surroundings can dramatically impact your habits. Break bad habits, the inverse laws. If you want to quit a bad habit, simply invert the 4 laws of habit formation. Make it invisible. Remove the triggers that remind you of the habit. Make it unattractive. Reframe your mindset about the habit. Make it difficult. Introduce steps or friction to increase the effort required to engage in the habit. Make it unsatisfying. Find an accountability partner who will notice when you fail. For example, if you want to stop wasting time on your phone, you can put your phone in another room. Put it in invisible mode. Remind yourself that it drains your energy, unattractive, set up app blockers, or tell a friend that you'll send them a progress update each night, unsatisfying if you fail. Remember, bad habits don't disappear overnight, but by making them harder to engage in, you can gradually break their hold over you. Small habits, big identity shifts. Here is where the magic happens. Tiny habits don't just change what you do, they change who you are. Every time you show up at the gym, you're not just working out, you're reinforcing the identity of an athlete. Every time you read, you're reinforcing the identity of a learner. Every time you save $1, you're reinforcing the identity of a financially savvy person. When habits are tied to your identity, they stick. It's no longer just about what you're doing. It's about who you are becoming. Success is the compound effect of habits. James Clear reminds us that habits are like compound interest. The results may not be immediate, but they grow exponentially over time. Skipping one workout won't ruin your health, but skipping 100 will. Eating one salad won't make you fit, but healthy eating over months will. Habits don't deliver instant results, but if you trust the process, they can eventually yield more than you ever imagined. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't see anything for weeks, but underground, roots are forming. Then one day, growth explodes. That's how habits work. The secret to getting significantly better at anything isn't about making giant leaps or relying solely on willpower. It's about adopting tiny, consistent habits over time. Focus less on goals and more on systems, less on outcomes and more on identity, less on intensity and more on consistency. Success is not about one big decision. It's about the thousands of small ones you make every single day. So, ask yourself, what's one small habit I can start today that my future self will thank me for? If this video provided you with clarity and motivation, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of learners who are mastering habits and transforming their lives. Success doesn't come from luck. It comes from the small actions you repeat every day. Let's build those habits together.